Do I
need a move?
Black hood. We're called the Red Circle. Each and every we're coming for you. Yeah, we will find you. Find you. We will hunt you. Hunt you. We will end you.
Betty is pouty, Kevy, help me. I need you to catfish my brother via cam girl behavior. Betty is like, I know that chick is hiding something. I need to find out more about his backstory. I bet he talks with his clients. Who do I know that's gay? Kevin, I need you to subscribe to Chick's essentially OnlyFans. And I'm going to sit behind the laptop. Y'all are going to talk. I'm going to feed you questions. You're going to learn more about Chick's backstory. And Chick is going to spill his guts. Chick is giving nothing, though. We're at the Pembroke.
Hermione and Hiram invite Fred over, and they want Fred to run for mayor. Ronnie pisses me off this episode.
Yeah, Ronnie is...
She's really pissing me off because she's like, well, of course, Fred would be such a good mayor, but also, it's, good to have a mayor that, is thinking about the family. And then she's like...
This feels...
Right.
Pawn behavior.
Yeah.
Cut to Sunnyside Trailer Park. And Juggy is still reeling from Monopoly Gate at Lodge. Red string map of Riverdale on the wall, this is the property that Hiram is buying up. And FP walks in. FP is like, dude, take a chill pill. And Jughead's like, no, they're stealing the property. Can you not see, Papa? But confluence, because Archie is in a place of my dad is being used as a political pawn by the mob. And Jughead is in a place of my dad is being used as a political pawn by the mob.
And so it's sort of
they come together.
Hey.
Archie comes to Jughead and is like, what if, Juggy, you use a little bit of tea?
You use some information that I have. Hiram
bought
bought Pops.
Can you use this at all to protect my dad?
I need my dad to know what's really going on, so I think he would be upset if he found out that Hiram had bought Pops without telling him.
And this could contribute to maybe some of Juggy's understanding of this vast network of property that's being bought up.
Yeah, because this is the only one on the north side that Hiram has bought.
Yeah, technically, Pops is at the heart
of
Riverdale. Juggy uses this information to update his conspiracy theory map.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a really, really good map of Riverdale.
It is. It's got the south side map that we saw and the north side map.
Juggy is presenting all of this new evidence to, you guessed it, Bettinta and Alice.
Alice is like, well, I can't do anything about this, but maybe you guys at the Blue and Gold can.
Yeah. So, again, it's been relegated to the local school newspaper to break, essentially, the Watergate of the town.
Yes.
Watergate.
Watergate. God, I love
Watergate.
And we do have a Deep Throat reference, actually, later in the episode. Deep Throat was the whistleblower for Watergate.
Understood. Why'd they call him that? That's weird.
But in the American Horror Story canon, it was Mamie Eisenhower, played by Sarah Paulson.
Eisenhower is Deep
Throat.
Really, Riverdale is a lost season of AHS.
Which makes sense because Ryan Murphy worked with Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa on Glee. Sarah Paulson is Alice.
Sarah Paulson is Alice. I fear that
Emma Roberts is Veronica.
Thaisa Farmiga is Betty.
Yeah. And Evan Peters is Jughead. Fern, something.
Oh, Cody Fern.
Yes!
Cody Fern is Archie.
Yes. I like this.
Well, Juggy leaves. Juggy's out of there. And Hal is like, I need to have a sit down with my familia. He's basically like, Alice, I want a divorce. Alice is like, are you still sleeping with Penelope Blossom? And he's like, no. And I feel like nobody's giving enough noise to how weird
that is.
Yeah. Chick, meanwhile, is maniacally giggling in the corner like, yes, I cut Hal out of the photo and now he's leaving. But just as one bombshell exits, a new one enters the villa. 3 new
bombshells
into
enter
the villa. Polly's back with the twins. Juniper is the AFAB.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dagwood is the AMAB.
Polly is very prescriptive. It's like pink and
it's
blue.
Pink and blue.
And
so
also,
are Alice and Chick.
Yeah. Alice and Chick are holding the babies. Betty is like, who gave Chick a baby? So she kind of goes and picks up Dagwood.
Get the fuck away from the psychopath.
Yeah. Polly is like, oh my gosh, I'm back from the farm. We have a brother? you guys know why I'm here. It's for the will reading. And Alice is like, what?
The what?
The what? Your what?
His what?
Polly is like, yeah, you guys didn't hear? Clifford Blossom's will reading is coming up. We cut over to Thistle House, getting ready for this will reading. And let's just say Choni is getting a little closer.
Instead of hurt, comfort, bestie, it's giving hurt, comfort, potential lesbian lover.
Tony, though, doesn't have anything to wear at such a prestigious event as Clifford Blossom's will reading.
Mm-hmm.
So Cheryl is going through her closet, plucking out little like lacy black negligees, and she's
being
like,
"Oh, Tonita,
you'd look amazing in this."
Antoinette, which by the way is her name,
and my grandma's name. Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
but
they're actually cleaning out.
No, they're
having
cleaning
a really
out.
Good time.
And Penelope is like, "What is this harlot doing in here? This is family only."
Yeah, and Cheryl's like, "This is my emotional support, Tony. Thank you very much."
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget that Penelope is incredibly homophobic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But she doesn't have a ton to go off of yet, because to be fair, neither do we.
Yeah,
like,
they've we're Tonying out, but like they're flirting.
Seen
but
Love
like,
Simon together and like
called each other sensational and
like
stuff.
that's
so.
And to be fair, that's kind of a lot.
It's a lot, but it's not quite enough. But
they're
don't
not
worry.
like we'll get there.
The grave is shallow, but it shall be deepened.
Meanwhile, we cut back over to the Andrews house. And Fred is going through some old tchotchkes, old keepsakes, memory books. Fred, before he dropped out of college to take care of his elderly dad, was apparently very like civil engineering.
Yeah, civil engineering.
Like,
he had like an urban planning
government
class.
double major, and he made a little plan of like Riverdale 2020, the future of the city.
And he
cares about the town
to better
a lot.
the town.
Yeah. And he's like, I would be open to being mayor. It seems like, I don't know, I have passion. Archie is like, that's sweet, Dad. I don't know if that's why the lodges want you in office.
Veronica is there, and she like,
pulls up.
I have all these pens. I've got the slogans.
And meanwhile, Fred hasn't officially even said to this private group of people that he wants to yet.
Yeah,
it's been pitched. Like,
and so Archie is like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, you're leading my dad right now.
And he pulls Veronica for a little chat upstairs in his room and is like, hey, it also feels like you're steering me. At the day of the confirmation, you were about to tell me the extent of the exact Sodale project, like, goal. And then I said no. But now, Ronnie, I want to know. And she's like, I can't tell you.
Yeah, she's like, I'll have to ask my parents.
Yeah, and it's like, girl,
you're pissing me the fuck off. Like, because she's just been really pushy about all of this.
We cut to the will reading of Clifford Blossom. It's a lot of nebulous gingers that make up the Blossom family. I think the woman in the second row, though, is from the
slayful
maple tapping. Nana Rose is there queening out. Betty, Polly, Juniper, Dagwood, Hal are all also in attendance. And Mr. Lawyer Guy is talking about Nana Rose, you get Thistle House. Penelope, you get Thornhill. And then Cheryl's like, a charred out husk of a soulless place. Fitting for you, Mom. The last piece of the will is that
Cheryl gets the half of the rest of the assets, and then the other half will be divided between anybody who can prove they have, quote, 1 drop of Blossom blood.
Alice busts through the back of the room. Through the door. And she's like, I knew it. Hal, you dirty, dirty fiend. That's why you wanted a divorce now, because you wanted to cut me out of all of this Blossom blood money.
I'm entitled to half of that shit.
I'm entitled to half of that. And I'm going to get as much out of this creepy, fugly family that I can.
I need more money from this inbred cesspool of a family. Yeah. I said inbred.
Tony's like, ooh.
Tony's like, oh my God, invite me to more of this.
Yeah, it's very, very silly.
Yeah.
By the way, she also brought Sierra, her lawyer, her divorce lawyer. Sierra doesn't get to say a single word.
Yeah, she
Alice
points her finger
over everything.
and then Alice is promptly escorted from the premises.
Yeah. We cut to Pops. Jughead is interviewing Pop Tate to be like, hey, so I know Hiram bought the chocolate shop, and Pop Tate is like, Jughead, I'm going to be so real with you. This chocolate chop has been in my family for generations. My mother, like, God bless her, is still alive. He's like, I really don't want the story being published, letting her know that I broke the family lineage, because that would just, like, break her heart.
And
to
so
release
what
the story.
is Jughead supposed to say after that? Of course he's not going to publish it.
He's like, dang it, we need new fodder to, like, attack Hiram with. We cut back to Thistle House. Cheryl has taken upon herself to go up and say a few words. I think we should take this as a moment of growth. No more bloodshed, no more madness, no more absolutely crazy, crazy, crazy happenings.
And a little voice pops up.
I couldn't agree more, Cheryl.
And who the fuck is it? Somebody who looks exactly
like Clifford. So Cheryl faints. She's awoken from Penelope with some very, very awful smelling salts. Turns out the Clifford lookalike, you guessed it, a secret twin named Claudius Blossom.
And he explains when he was a kid, he was being, quote, groomed to being the heir to the Blossom fortune instead of Clifford. And they used to be inseparable. He says a modern day Romulus and Remus.
Apparently there's like a long history of like the Blossom twins are always cursed, where one twin has a like terrible end.
Often at like the other twin's hand.
And so one day Clifford takes Claudius to the river and pulls out a rifle and is like, I'm gonna shoot you dead here if you don't leave and let me have the fortune. So Clifford has been crazy since day one. Claudius leaves and joins the Merchant Marines. Yeah, Nana Rose is like, I couldn't even mention your name after that. That's why I never mentioned that there's a secret twin. Cheryl's like, okay, secret uncle. Cut right over to the blue and gold room with Kevin for another round of the camming. Betty is skinny.
She had said that we all need to take a blood test to make sure that we actually have Blossom blood. Polly is like, hell yeah.
Because Polly wants that money for those twins.
That's why she's in town.
Chick is like, absolutely not. I'm not taking a blood test. I'm afraid of needles. And Alice is like, that's so valid. A fear of needles is so valid. Girls, stop bullying your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, he's being Mr. Freaky though.
Yeah.
And Betty's like, yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of this, Kevy. So Kevin is trying to talk with Chick about like sexual health and wellness.
But he's like looking over to Betty.
And Chick immediately is like, dude, is someone in the room with you? And then
instead of lying at all, Kevin just like
slams the computer. Kevy's like, I don't know, Betty. This was a lot. It's your brother. This is really weird. He seems like a fine guy. Like, I'm gonna leave.
And I'm like, Kevin, you would think he was a fine guy. Betty is now like, well, I guess I'll have to figure my own way out of the situation. And so she is snooping around Chick's bathroom, really Polly's. I know. I'll take some of Chick's floss.
Get some Chick DNA. I'll just send this into the lab. Nebulous lab.
And so
who knows?
She does. Jug had told Archie, hey, I can't publish this pop story. I've talked to everybody I can think of.
I've talked to Mayor McCoy. Like, I don't know how we get to Hiram. And Archie is like, maybe you've been talking with the wrong McCoy. In comes Josephina. She's at Pop's. Archie comes, sits down at her table, and she's like, Archie, I'm brunching. What do you want?
And Archie's like, listen, I need to figure out how to get my dad to not want to be the mayor.
Is there any way that your mom could, like, I don't know, come forward about any of the shady stuff? Josie's like, absolutely no. We can just have a harsh talk with your dad, but, like, not direct.
Yeah, and so they do.
So they do. And Sierra. Yeah, Fred, it's like really abysmal pay. Like the constituents get really mad. We had Black Hood threats like 24/7 against me and my daughter. I know that hits home for you. And Fred is kind of sitting there like,
yep, I'm prepared for that.
I'm prepared for that. So Archie's like,
well, God damn it.
We cut to the Pembroke.
The Pembroke Pop shows up at the door at the Pembroke.
Out of his drag. Hey, Hiram. Just like checking in. It seems that Jughead knows about the like sale. I want to make sure that we're not going public. And Hiram's like, interesting, Pop. Hiram hosts a little family meeting. So it seems like that little rat Jughead Jones knows about the sale of Pops. How is that? Because only the three of us in this room and Archie know about it. So was it him? Because if so, we're about to put out a hit.
And Ronnie's like, no,
It was me.
It was me. Jughead was just putting a lot of pressure
At
on
Lodge
me
Lodge.
at Lodge Lodge, and I told him because I wanted to distract him with this one piece of information, so he didn't get the whole plan.
Yeah, Hiram is about to blow his absolute lid. Hermione's like, excellent work, Mija. I would have done the exact same thing. You gave him a very small nugget, and we have time to course correct and like work out a plan. And Hiram is like, okay.
But you guys better be right about this.
Yeah. Ronnie is also reeling from this whole conversation because she knows that it was, in fact, Archie that gave out this information. She runs over to his house, only to catch him, you guessed it, doing shirtless pull-ups in the garage.
Because of course.
So Ronnie barrels in. She's like, why are you leaking information about my family to Jughead?
And she says, quote, I'm gonna kill you, Archie.
Yeah.
Do not say that to your partner.
They're having an absolute tiff about everything. In comes Fred, and he's like, hey guys, excellent news. I have decided on my own to run for mayor.
Jughead is forced to course correct after the whole we can't talk about Pops. So he goes to FP and he says, hey, Daddykins, I've exhausted every lead. I don't know who to talk to. And FP's like, well, let me let you in on a little secret.
Yeah.
Hiram did pay me and the Serpents to trash the drive-in so we could lower its market value before he bought it. And Jughead's like, how could you not tell me about this, Dad?
Yeah. Jughead's like, well, I guess if you're comfortable going on the record, we could do that, but that really badly implicates the Serpents in Hiram's whole nefarious plot. So let's try to avoid that. Ask ye shall receive, Jughead. He gets a little call. It's an anonymous tip saying, meet me at the bus station in midnight so I have information about Hiram Lodge, blah, 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 blah. So Jughead goes.
And he goes, are you Deep Throat? That's the Deep Throat reference.
And you guessed it.
It's fucking Smithers!
Yes! He's back.
Smithers fans unite!
He's basically like, I know all about Hiram's little dealings. You know, I think there may actually be something in Shankshaw prison as a lead.
And he goes, and that's all I can say, but first, how is Miss Veronica doing?
It's sweet. And Jughead's like, I don't care about that bitch. Vughead is in turbulent water.
They are. And not the hot tub kind.
We cut to Thistle House for a family dinner welcoming back Claudius.
Mm-hmm.
And you guessed it, Tony has been invited as Cheryl's emotional support. Claudius is going off about where he's been the past, 40 years. I have traveled every which way. I have been in every condition. My favorite place ever, the most beautiful, illustrious, wonderful island in the world, Lesbos. Tony just
starts choking on her food
and giggling, and Cheryl just goes, "Oh my!"
And she's like, "Oh my god." To be honest with you, this goes nowhere.
This is the end of the scene.
That's the end of the scene.
But it's just really funny.
It is really funny.
Post train station Smithers debrief, Jughead twiddles over to Pops to talk with his daddykins about a potential lead in Shankshaw. Remember that prison that Hiram was in during the whole embezzling gate?
The one that you were in?
FP, Jughead, I'm ready to investigate.
Let's go back to my prison. I'll talk to my prison besties.
War baby.
War baby. Girl, what are these names? So Polly and Betty had a little girls' day out where Polly was like, hey, Betty, isn't Chick freaky and weird?
Yeah. And Betty's
like, thank God. Yes, he is freaky and weird.
Terribly freaky and weird. Betty and Polly come home from their little outing and they find Miss Slayful Alice just knitting some little baby clothes. They're like, where the hell are the kids though, Alice? So Alice is like, oh, don't worry guys. Chick took them for a little late night walk along Sweetwater River.
What the fuck, Alice?
Polly and Betty are about to go absolutely feral and call everyone, search party for the twins. They think that he got jealous of those babies and fully murdered them.
Yes, because he had been talking to Betty earlier and being like, with Polly and those twins around, there's just less love for us too.
Yeah, he's like,
girl,
love is a
what?
finite thing. Don't worry. Chick comes through the door at that exact moment with the twins in a stroller, and he's like, they're right here. It's fine. And it is fine. They're just right there chilling. So it does scare Polly enough, though, to be like, hey, Betty, I'm leaving tonight. I'm taking the twins. We're moving to San Francisco.
And so we get the war baby conversation. Both FP and Jughead being like, hey, war baby, what do you know in there? Anything buzzing around in there?
And basically, War Baby's like, yeah, I know the exact plot of Hiram's like entire scheme, and he gives it to Jughead and FP. Cut to the Cooper house the next morning once Polly is dipped, and Chick is like, mwahaha, I will cut her out of this picture as well.
So no more Polly, no more Hal.
Yeah, it's just Betty and Alice and Chick.
So then we cut to Hiram and Hermione talking to Fred and Archie and Ronnie at the table at Pembroke.
Yes. Hiram is doing intense damage control because he knows that the story is about to break of what his Sodale project is about. So he pulls Fred and Archie for a little meeting, and he's like, okay, guys, it's time for the big reveal. You guessed it. The reason that I've been saying that you should run for mayor, Fred, and it's going to be like a crime-free Riverdale, everyone's going to be safe, end of the Black Hood era, end of the Sugar Man era, like this is a new leaf for Riverdale because the plan for the Sodale project is a for-profit private prison.
Built on the bones of Southside High. Girl, what?
Fred is like, what the hell, Hiram?
What the fuck
I thought
are you
we were
talking
building
about?
housing. Like, that's what Andrew Construction has been working on. And Hermione's like, yes, we have housing for people working at the prison.
And it's like,
oh my God.
Fred is immediately like, nope, I'm out.
dropping out of the mayoral race.
I'm out. Fuck
like,
you. I'll see you at the polls.
So he's like, Archie, get up. We're leaving.
And Archie goes, no, Dad, you're leaving. I'm staying.
I want to hear Hiram out.
Archie, you and Ronnie have pissed me off.
Yeah,
You have both pissed me off.
Varchie is the opposite of death, but they are being incredibly annoying right now.
I'm not with my girls.
No. So their original course correct didn't work out because
Fred actually has morals.
yeah, but never put it past the lodges to have a plan like Z.
Ronnie pisses me off again.
We see Ronnie at a podium, the Riverdale flag blowing in the wind behind her. Good people of Riverdale, I'm here today to announce the mayoral candidacy for
my
mother,
Hermione Lodge. And Hermione's like,
it's
really?
me.
It's such an honor.
And Jughead still hasn't published the entire expose yet because no one's picking up the story. So that's what the mayoral race is going to look like. Hermione's going to run the town and Hiram is going to run it into the ground. Cut to Thistle House for a really quick moment of Cheryl eavesdropping.
Penelope is speaking with Claudius and she's like, okay, enough with the act. It's Nana Rose first and then it's Cheryl. We're getting our money, Claudius.
So turns out creepy Claudius from Lesbos isn't actually an ally.
So then we go to the Cooper house. Betty has a chart in front of her. She walks into Chick's room. She goes, can you explain this? And Chick is like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
It's the DNA test results.
He's not a Blossom.
Which means he's not
a Cooper. So who the fuck are you, Chick?
Who
the fuck are you?
We cut to the Pembroke for one final scene. Archie is committing himself fully to Daddykins.
He had written a little notebook that had all of these notes about the crazy doings that Hiram was doing. And he was like, if you ever fuck with my dad, this is going public.
This information.
But after he decided to stay for the for-profit prison for whatever the fuck reason, he tells Hiram that before the Black Hood, he would have never condoned any of this. But after that, he just wants people to be safe. So, Daddy, what do you want me to do?
And Hiram is like, blood ritual. Here's a knife.
You have to become a blood brother.
Hiram is like, now that little notebook, toss it.
Throw it in the fire.
Burned. Very, very upsetting. I feel like last episode was so quad heavy. And then this episode worked it all back. From Jughead's POV, he doesn't know about Archie blood pact with Hiram. Last Jughead heard from Archie. Archie was trying to snitch about the pop situation. I feel like Jarchie is still strong right now, but it's only because Archie is lying to Jughead.
Yeah.
Or like hasn't
withholding information.
Betty is going through the absolute craziness of the fact that Chick isn't her actual brother.
Yeah.
That is big. Polly's left town again. We actually saw Juniper and Dagwood, though. And Ronnie's confusing.
She's confusing and she's pissing me off.
Yeah. Honestly, my favorite person this episode, Tony.
Impreg Fred with FP's baby.
With FP's baby.